everyone. So today's dish is gonna be a wild rice stuffing. It is a stuffing because you can stuff your chicken or your turkey for Thanksgiving, or you can use as a normal dish for a daily basis. Okay. And this recipe that I'm gonna make today has around 400 calories to 405 calories, and if you decide to do without the shrimp and do a stuffing, this is gonna have 283 calories per serving, okay? And this recipe today is gonna yield 2 servings, so you're gonna have a total of, if you decide to use the whole recipe, it's gonna be 800 calories with the shrimp, and without the shrimp, it's gonna be 566 calories, okay? So I hope you enjoy this video, and please rate and subscribe in my channel. It's all about calories, and you can lose weight doing these dishes that I'm gonna show you in this channel, or you can maintain your weight depending on how much calories you eat every day. Okay, so let's get started. For today's recipe, the first thing we will need to do is to boil some water. So I'm gonna start boiling the water that I'm gonna use for cooking the rice. So the rice I will cook today is a wild rice mix. This is organic brown basmati rice with wild rice. If you don't find this mix ready, you can prepare it at your home. So you basically do half and half. You can get half brown rice and half wild rice, and mixture them and cook them together. And now that my water is already boiling, I'm gonna grab half of a cup of the mixture that I have, that is white rice with brown rice. So I'm gonna measure half of a cup of this mixture, or as I said before, you can prepare your own mixture at home. And if you don't find wild rice, you can always do with another type of rice. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna grab a dash or 1/8 of a teaspoon, and I'm gonna put nutmeg or ground nutmeg. You have another option that is to add, instead of nutmeg, you can add ground sage. But I would prefer, today I'm gonna use the nutmeg because I think it tastes better. So I'm gonna grab a dash or 1/8 of a teaspoon, and I'm gonna add in the rice. You can always add a little bit more, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more, so 1/8 more, and this is gonna give me 1/4 of a teaspoon. So if you want more flavor, you can add 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And then after that, what I'm gonna do as well is grab a chicken flavor bouillon, the normal one that you buy in powder. And I'm gonna grab a half a teaspoon of this bouillon, granules or powder, it's up to you. And I'm gonna throw these in the pan as well. So after you add the sage and the chicken bouillon, or the ground nutmeg instead of the sage if you prefer, you're gonna add 1 cup of boiling water. Okay, 1 cup of boiling water for half of a cup of rice, and then you're gonna cover your pan, reduce the heat to low, medium heat, and you're gonna leave the rice here for around 20 minutes or until the rice is cooked. Now I'm gonna give you 2 options, 2 different ones. You can either have white rice stuffing that is gonna be vegetarian. So if you are vegetarian, or if you don't want to put meat in your dish, you're gonna skip this part that I'm gonna show you now. But if you want some meat and some protein in your dish, maybe you want to watch this part that I'm gonna show you now. So you can do with different kinds of meat. Today I'm gonna use the shrimp, those small ones that we usually use for sauce or salads. So I'm gonna use these ones for this stuffing wild rice. But if you want, you can also use chicken. But today I'm gonna use shrimp because shrimp has less calories. So I'm gonna use today 9 ounces of shrimp, so 9 ounces of small shrimp. I'm gonna defrost this, and then I'm gonna need a wok pan, kind of pan, and also I'm gonna use 1/4 of a red onion. So you can use it a little bit less if you don't want, or you can just skip this part if you don't want onions. So I'm gonna cut 1/4 of red onion to saute with my shrimp. So here I have 1/4 of a red onion, cut it, dice it, and 9 ounces of shrimp. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and spread some oil in my pan. So just make sure you don't add too much oil. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the oil spray. So I'm gonna just spray it over the pan, but I'm not gonna use excess oil. So what I'm gonna do now is turn my heat on. So you want to turn on in a high medium heat, okay? And then I'm gonna use canola oil cooking spray, and I'm gonna spray some in my pan like that. So see, you don't add like extra oil, it's just enough to don't burn your shrimp and your onions. So now that my pan is already heated, I'm gonna add my 1/4 of red onions. And I'm gonna saute the onions for about around 2 minutes, okay? And just to let you know, my rice is still cooking, okay? And if you feel that your rice is still a little bit hard and it's undercooked, you can add a little bit more of water to get it softer. So I'm gonna saute my onions in here, and you're gonna see, because you spray a little bit of the canola oil in here, and you didn't add like too many calories, probably around 5 or 10 calories, not that much. So you'll see that your onions get softer and they don't get burned. And another thing that I'm gonna do now, because my onions are almost ready, I'm gonna put the shrimp in here. So I have 9 ounces of shrimp, those small ones, and I'm gonna add the shrimp in here, already defrost. If you have frozen shrimp, make sure you defrost before, otherwise you're gonna have too much water inside the pan, and your shrimp is not gonna be as good as when you defrost first, because here you see that you're gonna saute, and they're gonna be more crispy and more tender. If you have too much water, it's like you're not gonna saute, you're cooking because you have the water there. So what we are gonna do here, we are gonna add some salt and pepper, okay? So a little bit of salt. It's up to you how much salt you want to put, because we put the chicken bouillon in the rice. It wasn't that much. We put like a half of teaspoon. But if you prefer to put like 1 teaspoon in the rice, and don't put rice in don't put the salt in here, you can do that as well. And then we are gonna put black pepper, ground black pepper. It's always a good call. And we're gonna saute a little bit more, okay, until you see that the shrimp is cooked. And then make sure that the rice doesn't get burnt as well, okay? So as I said before, if you prefer a meatless dish, you don't need to do this part that I'm doing here, okay? You can skip this part and go directly to the part that I'm gonna add the mushrooms and the green onions and the almonds as well. So you can skip that part if you prefer a meatless meal, and if you prefer less calories. But I want you to know that this meal with the shrimp, it's just 400 calories, and it's gonna be a huge plate. You're gonna see. This is gonna eat 2 servings of the meal for 400 calories with the shrimp. If you prefer to skip the shrimp, 1 serving is gonna have 283 calories. So it's not that much. Probably if you do meatless, if you go meatless, you will have to add some snack after lunch because you're gonna be hungry for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna let my shrimp saute in here, and I wanna get rid of all the water. So now my rice is done. Okay, the water evaporates, and I have a really good cooked rice. So I'm gonna turn off the stove, and I'm gonna come back to the shrimp and onions. So if you don't want to put meat, as I said before, you can skip the part of the shrimp, and you're gonna go straight to the mushrooms, green onions, and if you desire, you can put some celery as well. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna add to the shrimp, or as I said before, if you don't wanna put shrimp, you can skip that part and just spray some canola oil here, put some salt and pepper in the mushrooms, okay? So I'm gonna add 2 cups of sliced fresh mushrooms, okay? So here I have 2 cups of sliced fresh mushrooms, and I'm gonna add also the 1/3 of a cup of green onions, okay? And if you want, you can add as well 1/4 of a cup or 1/3 of a cup of celery. Okay. Because I think I didn't mention before, but people usually use this recipe for do a chicken stuff. So that's why this recipe is also called white rice stuffing. But I'm gonna use to eat just without the stuffed chicken. So it's up to you. If you're gonna do a stuffing, you don't need to put the shrimp, of course, because you're gonna stuff chicken. So it doesn't make sense to put shrimp inside. So I'm gonna saute my mushrooms for a while in here, and then after that I'm gonna add the rice, okay? And because we add a lot of mushrooms in here, I'm gonna put a little bit more of salt, okay? But make sure you don't put too much, otherwise it's gonna be too salty. And then I'm gonna increase the heat a little bit for a medium heat, and I'm gonna saute my mushrooms with the shrimp, the green onions, and the onions. And after that, I'm gonna put the rice in here. Meanwhile, what I'm doing now is toast some almonds. So I got 1/4 of a cup of almonds, sliced almonds, and I'm toasting them here in the oven. So that's why you're listening to this tick-tock of a clock. So this is my almonds. So now that my mushrooms are getting salty and they are kind of soft now, as you can see, they are getting smaller, I'm gonna add the rice, okay? So I have here my cooked rice, and I'm gonna add the rice here. So now that I add the rice, I'm gonna mix everything. I'm gonna kind of let the rice not fry because I don't have oil here, but the rice is gonna get the flavors of the other ingredients like the mushrooms, the shrimp, and the green onions. And I'm gonna let this here sauteing a little bit more for around 2 to 3 minutes, and then that's it. But don't forget to put your almonds to toast before you finish, because we're gonna sprinkle some almonds on the top afterwards. So this is my final dish, okay? This is the dish with the meat, as I said before. This is the shrimp white rice. And now I'm gonna add my toasted almonds. So because I toasted 1/4 of a cup, I'm gonna add half of this, so 1/8 of a cup. I'm gonna add the almonds on top. So this is my final dish, okay, with the almonds. As you can see, it's a huge plate, and these just have 400 calories with the shrimp. If you decide to do without the shrimp, you have around 283 calories, and it is a healthy dish with just 400 calories for you, and that's how you can maintain your weight, or this is how you can lose weight if you want. So I hope you like this recipe, and I hope if you like, please rate for me and like it. And if you have any suggestions or questions, please let me know. Write down your questions and I will be glad to answer for you. Okay? That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.